Okay, next.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Panel to Panel, your show about comics and everything pertaining to the only comic book web show that turns it up to 11. With me tonight, for the first time ever, we have the entire Panel to Panel team here. We've got the Space Chief.
Hey, everybody.
We've got Jules.
Hi, everyone.
Uni is here with the song of her people.
Hi. It will happen.
Pedro.
Hi, to the main.
Panda and Norton.
Hi.
And tonight, special guest on with us, the man who is behind the curtain. We peeked behind that curtain. Our fellow FTN buddy, Ed Poole, is here. Ed, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Glad we can make this work finally. It's been a long time coming. Jules has been like, I don't want to keep bugging him, but I want him on the show. I don't want to keep bugging him.
I hope I can live up to the hype.
Oh,
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure you will. So tonight with Ed on, we're going to talk about
Superhero movies, man.
Superhero movies or just any movies, because there's a lot of movies coming out, a lot of remakes, a lot of reboots. We're going to talk about them. So let's start off with the one everybody wants to talk about. Let's start off with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Episode 7. J.J. Abrams. The mouse is taking it forward. Mickey Mouse said, "Ha-ha, we're going to go in space. Ha-ha." So Star Wars coming out. I know, Ed, you put out a lot of stuff on FDN about the Star Wars movie coming out. I think you put out Ian McDermott. Ian McDermott is in the talks of coming back as the Emperor.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, it's everything. Every day is a new rumor. It's hard to tell what's true and what's not.
That's how we like it.
It's so early. I can't wait to see an old Han Solo. That's all I'm waiting for. All the news, I don't care. It's cool and all, but where's Han Solo? See Harrison Ford.
They are making a spin-off of Han Solo. Young Han Solo.
That might be cool. I dig that. They do like an origin Han Solo story.
Yeah, but is it going to turn out to be like young Indiana Jones? He's already been down the young route.
Hopefully not, because Lucas won't have anything to do with it. Hopefully.
Well, what does Lucas really have to do with it now? He sold the company to the mouse.
I know. Well, as long as he's nowhere near it, I'm all for any Star Wars movies. Because I think he dropped the ball, man, on those prequels.
Oh, you don't know if I like it, the Jar Jar?
Jar Jar Binks is an abomination, man.
Yeah, the boyfriend's a huge Star Wars nerd. We do not discuss the prequels in this household, ever. Much less do we talk about the continuation, because he might murder something.
But you know,
I can't wait, man. I think it's going to be cool.
Think about this. J.J. Abrams is helming it. J.J. Abrams is helming it, and the new Star Trek movies, with as much as people complained about them rebooting Star Trek, the two Star Trek movies we recently got are actually pretty darn good.
Agreed. Especially Into Darkness. I think Into Darkness was awesome.
Into Darkness was good, and I don't want to hear anybody talking about whitewashing Khan, because Benedict Cumberbatch did a fantastic Khan. I think he did a really good Khan.
I would agree with that. I think he's awesome.
Thank you. I'm going to be pitchforked here.
He's an alternate Khan.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Ricardo Montalban.
They're taking these older movies and they got to reboot them for the new generation. That's all there is to it, because 70s Star Trek day is pretty bad. So it makes sense. My worry with Star Wars coming back, basically, is I know there's certain storylines they could follow via the books that could go really, really well. However, they're also not exactly very family friendly. So what is Disney going to do to make this storyline good and still save their image, but allow Abrams to do his own thing and not just slaughter it entirely?
They're going to add, from what I know, Ed can back me up on this, they're going to add a pop star who is going to grow up and then decide she doesn't want her clean image anymore. There's going to be a dog with a blog in it, an alien dog with a blog.
Poor Miley.
You're gonna anytime you have to get into a spaceship, you have to say the magic words Miska Mouska, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
There you go. And Leia has to find the glass slipper. Leia has to make sure she fits in the glass slipper. That's the new Star Wars.
Just don't let her snort it.
I say nonsense. I think they're going to be great. I think that there's the old Star Wars movies they're not hardcore or anything. I mean, I think it's.
No.
I think if Disney's going to.
Here's my issue though. Go up to a kid these days and say, "Who's Luke Skywalker?" They won't know who you're talking about. But you say, "Who's Anakin Skywalker?" They're like, "Oh my God, that's the guy from Star Wars."
And you go.
Somebody asked me, what skeletons? What?
If your kid doesn't know who Luke Skywalker is, you're doing a bad job as a parent.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's right.
Both
If you start
You got to
with
start it out with the originals.
Yeah, if you start with episode 1 instead of the Holy Trilogy, you are wrong.
Oh my God.
I would agree with that.
I will.
For those of us lucky enough to have seen them in theaters when they were released the first time, and just the magic of that, that's what I'm hoping for the new ones. I'm hoping that kids will get a good Star Wars movie that they can. Because I mean, come on! I mean, it's a letdown. I think that episode 1, it just wasn't the same. I remember when I was a kid and Star Wars came out. Like you just waited. You're like, yeah. Like when Return of the Jedi came out, I just couldn't believe it. So I can't. And then my mom, I think, took me when I was a kid, me and my brother, to see the premiere of it in our town, and they had the big stand-ups of all the characters and photos on the walls, like a big deal. And it's like, man, there's just not the magic of that anymore.
Did you sit in front of your TV for the holiday special?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I thought, you know what? For a long time when I was growing up, I thought I dreamed that because I was so little when I saw it. I was like, is it really that they have did Chewbacca have Christmas once? What? Before you could search it on the internet to find out what it was called.
Did Boba Fett really ride a dinosaur?
Boba Fett riding a dinosaur, Life Day, B. Arthur singing. I was like, I heard B. Arthur and Art Carney in that.
B. Arthur was singing.
She was singing in the Tatooine cantina.
And then there's Maude.
That was from right around that time when she was on that show. That's probably why. And Art Carney from the Honeymooners was in it.
Hey, B. Arthur.
And that's why no one will ever find it again.
Lucas buried that thing.
just like he buried. Hold on.
There was a guy I went to a Star Trek convention once.
The Duck.
I knew
just like George Lucas buried Howard the Duck.
There was a guy selling bootleg copies of that Christmas special at this Star Trek convention I went to. And I was real close to buying one, but I was like, I might take this home. There's nothing on this.
You can find it on
a picture you print out. Yeah, I've watched it before since then. It's so bad.
But remember, Chief, the Nostalgia Critics review of Star Wars Holiday Special gave us one of the greatest combinations of Christmas icons ever in Santa Christ.
Yeah, it's true. He is the greatest. He's like a superhero in himself. He has the powers of Jesus and Santa Claus.
There you go, people. Star Wars is done. We're done. Twitterverse is gonna blow up. So I want to open the floor to anybody. Shout out a movie that's coming out. Anybody, I don't care.
ASM2.
Okay,
I post stuff about that all the time.
Rolling with a
I've seen
too.
I will have to say that Ed, I get almost all of my Amazing Spider-Man 2 news from Ed. So Ed is the guy, the authority on Amazing Spider-Man on the panel tonight.
Jamie Foxx is talking about Sinister Six in this continuity.
Yeah, it's kind of. I guess it's kind of a spoiler. So I guess he doesn't die. I guess so. But there's. I guess Sony's starting to set it up like the Avengers. They're going to introduce characters in the Spider-Man universe, and then I guess they're going to set up a big Sinister Six movie. Lizard, who's still alive. You got Electro. You got Rhino. You've got Green Goblin. So they already have a whole bunch of villains set up. There's talk of Venom, perhaps. So I don't know. It sounds pretty cool.
We need Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
You think Molina would come back as Dr. Octopus in a different set of movies?
He might.
He was pretty good.
Wow.
I thought Alfred Molina was a great Doc Ock.
Yeah, I loved him.
See, I enjoyed the Tobey Maguire movies. I thought that the third one I didn't like at all, but the first two were really good. I just thought I liked Amazing Spider-Man better myself, just because they had the homemade web shooters, and like it's just I don't know. To me, it was just better. I think this new series is going to get way crazy and cool.
I have to say, I
think that we will have a clone, a Spider-Man clone.
Oh, Scarlet Spider?
Yeah, maybe he kind of needs help in this movie. What do you guys think?
You think there's got to be another hero involved? How's he going to take on? Well, I guess he's taken them all on before, but.
Bring in Thomas Jane to see the Punisher in a movie.
There's a lot of Black Cat talk.
Yeah,
that's true. It'd be awesome.
Cosplay world would be blowing up.
I heard something.
Cat's already cosplay like you won't believe. We don't need any excuse for that.
I heard something about the Spider-Man clone would be a woman, and then we have Spider-Woman in this new series.
And then they could technically tie it into the Avengers that way too.
Yeah, a fourth movie.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people would be mad if Jessica Drew became a clone of Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't. Hey Ed, didn't Vin Diesel come out and say there's going to be like a merging of the brands or something like that, and they're going to more unify the Marvel Universe movies?
Yeah, Vin Diesel's been teasing this big announcement forever, and then it came out that he was playing Groot, but that wasn't an announcement. The announcement is something for Marvel Phase 3 around 2016, and all he really said was a merging of the brands. So I don't know if that's like Avengers and Guardian Galaxy brand, or is that like Sony, Fox, Marvel brand? There's not a lot of info about that, but a lot of speculation. I mean, it sounds pretty huge.
Well, yeah, so I watched the interview that he put up.
They could set it up to be kind of like Infinity.
The timing would probably be for like around Avengers 3, I guess, against Thanos, maybe, perhaps.
Maybe tie Infinity right into the movie somehow.
Hasn't Marvel gotten most of the brands back from Sony, like with Blade and everything? Because I know that was in the works too.
Yeah, Blade's back with them. So is Daredevil.
Blade, Daredevil, I think they just
You got
Ghost Rider.
too.
It's really awesome.
So what? Sony
Ghost
still
Rider reboot
owns,
would be cool, man.
Sony still owns Spider-Man. Fox has what, the X-Men series, and don't they
Fantastic
have
Four.
Fantastic Four? Yeah.
Fantastic Four, that includes Surfer, Galactus, Skrulls, I think, too.
Cal Skrulls.
What the Inhumans thing? I heard a rumor. Well, not a rumor. Suggested that Vin Diesel would be a good Black Bolt, and I think that is perfect because he doesn't. If he can't act, he doesn't have to talk. All he's gonna do is just play like a tough guy.
The problem with Marvel is they sold mutants to Fox, so they can't even say mutants in their movies. So the problem is if they want to do these heroes, you have to explain how they have powers. So a lot of people are thinking Inhumans would be like a race of power. I mean, maybe not aliens, but have a race of powers. So a lot of people thought Vin Diesel might be an Inhuman.
So how are they doing? How are they doing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in Avengers 2?
Yeah.
I would think maybe they might be a human, or maybe there might be some kind of shield super soldier or something like that. No idea yet.
Who knows? It may change where they aren't going to be in it. It is Joss Whedon, so he changes his mind every 5 seconds.
They're vampires.
Well, and there's a script that got leaked that had things about Coulson and what he was supposed to actually be for the storyline, and that's already been told it's not happening. So it's kind of one of those everybody has to wait and see because it's all speculation because it's Whedon, and he may kill
So
somebody.
what's going on with the Shield series? Is that going to tie into this the third wave of Marvel or something somehow? Or is that just going to be like a separate, just TV entity that's not going to have anything to do with the Age of Ultron or any of that?
Supposedly it's supposed to just remain a separate entity. Because they had said they were going to combine them with the one script that I was talking about, but because of all the issues it would cause with basically infringements and everything else, they can't do it.
So I know
I'm
you
looking
guys all
forward to that. That's
mentioned.
going to be awesome.
Well, you guys were all talking about Vin Diesel. I know Panda. You went and saw Riddick last night.
I did.
How was Riddick?
I thought it was good. It could have been better, but I don't know. I mean, for the budget that it had, there was maybe like one or two like holes that I found in the story, but I don't know. Overall, I liked it. They kind of did leave it open where they could do something else with it, but I think that they're probably just going to leave it for now. But I don't know. I liked it. I don't know. I like Vin Diesel most of the time, so I was glad to see it come, for sure.
I've gained some respect for Vin Diesel over the years. I didn't like when Fast and Furious came out, I wasn't like a fan of that kind of thing. So not really like into race cars or any of that kind of stuff. But I actually did watch them. They actually are pretty good movies. I kind of hooked Tokyo Drift now. I'm hooked on that. I gotta try that someday.
Well, the thing of when I was watching the previews, it seemed like this movie was going back to like Pitch Black style.
It kind of was more.
Movie.
I mean, it wasn't a largely budgeted film. It had a smaller budget because Vin Diesel's company made it themselves. They took it away. He got the rights from doing Tokyo Drift. His cameo in that, he said, "I'll do it if you give me the rights to Riddick." And so he got the rights and he made the movie and then sold it back to the original company because they were basically done with it. So basically he had almost, him and like the writers, like his people basically had complete control from what I understand. Which I don't know, I liked it, and I kind of like, if he's the character, then who better to sort of, do the movie right than who would know the character best. So I don't know, I liked it. I liked that it wasn't like a super high budget, and I still thought that, the graphics, because there is a lot of stuff that they had to put into it. I mean, it's on another planet, it has all these things that, are like CGI and very technical, and I thought they did a good job with it for the most part.
I do want to see
Have
it.
the rights?
Looks good.
What's that, Ed?
Does he still have the rights to Riddick though?
Yeah, he still has the rights, I'm pretty sure.
When I heard the Emerging LeBrand news, I tweeted out a joke. Maybe Riddick would be coming to the Marvel Universe. Wouldn't that be Emerging LeBrands? And everybody kind of liked it. It was just a joke. I had no idea he had the rights though.
Oh, so you're saying
whenever
bringing Riddick into the Marvel Universe is what you're saying?
Whenever he did
Guardians of the
his
Galaxy or
30 seconds at the end of the movie, he said, "I'll do this for free," because they were over budget and couldn't afford him. And he said, "I'll do it for free if you give me the rights to Riddick," because they weren't. He wanted to make the third movie the whole time, and since the second one didn't do good in the box office based on the budget, they were just basically burying Riddick and not letting him have it, but he got the rights from them, and as far as I know, he still has all of the rights, so that could happen.
Yeah.
Although the Riddick games, the Riddick games are pretty good. If you ever played there was 2 Riddick games. I want to say they were for the Xbox, and I think one for Xbox 360. One of them I want to say was like Escape from Butcher Bay. So that was those games were actually pretty good.
I think Riddick could be a good comic series.
I think so too.
Continuing saga.
We brought Angela in. We brought her in the Guardians. Let's bring Riddick in. Riddick is the new.
How's that going?
It would be better with another company like Dark Horse or something besides like Marvel or DC, but
Dark Horse.
I don't know.
Dark Horse would probably do good with it. I think
I think
good
Dark
with Star
Horse
Wars.
would rock it for sure.
Oh yeah. Do you any news on Hellboy, a third one?
On Star Wars?
What's that, Pedro? Sorry. Go ahead, Pedro. I'm sorry.
The comics rights on Star Wars?
Who does? Dark Horse does. Yeah.
I'm asking. Why?
Dark Horse. Star Wars.
Marvel?
Weren't they going to lose them soon, though? I thought they were going to lose the rights to Star Wars at some point in the future.
I am not sure.
I thought they'd revert back to Marvel or something, don't they, at some point in the future?
I thought so. When I heard that Star Wars was bought by Disney and then Marvel, I thought, well, we have some bunch of comics with Star Wars comics, but they are.
Man, that's all stuff that I just don't know anything about, like who knows rights to. I just know stuff I like, It's like I hardly ever pay attention to that stuff. I don't know what company owns what. I just know that I like it. I see it, I'm like, hey, me like that. And then I sit there and watch it.
In me. Which speaking of stuff we like to watch, Godzilla. Let's go to Godzilla. We're getting the new Godzilla movie, and it actually, from what I've seen, it looks like Godzilla. It does not look like an ugly thing from 1998. It actually looks good.
So you think it's gonna go like the sci-fi, like the kind of the Japanese sci-fi take on it, or do you think it's gonna go like a horror kind of like giant monster crushing the city kind of thing? Because Matthew Broderick's was kind of more like almost like a horror movie. It's like so it's slipping around and eating people. So like old Godzilla movies are like old Godzilla movies are fun because they're like big monsters fighting over the city.
My Godzilla does not lay eggs. Does not lay eggs in a sporting arena, and velociraptors come out and the only offspring Godzilla had was Godzuki. Darn it!
He can talk for some reason. Godzuki can talk. And he blew smoke rings.
But really,
She's like a Hulk. She's a monster who destroys down the city, and there's no kind of plot besides this.
Well, there's always
gotta fight another monster.
There's always a plot, like when they had to take Godzilla to Planet X to fight King Ghidorah. And I think they also took Rodan with them. I think it was like Godzilla and Rodan had to go and fight King Ghidorah on Planet X.
Like that, they're so weird.
Chief,
I can't believe they're like.
About.
Like, dude, I can't believe they funnel money into like a big screen Godzilla that's going to be like the old Godzilla. It's got to be like something, like good effects and stuff. I can't imagine it'd be like the tiny little set cities where a guy's stomping around through it. Like this day and age on a big screen. Can you imagine paying $20 to see that?
I would.
But that's because I'm sick and twisted like that.
Come on,
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, maybe, for the ironic, ridiculous value of it, I guess.
See, me, I'm one of those people. Godzilla was one of those things that you could be watching, and it was kitschy and stupid, and that's what made it awesome. And then they came out with the Matthew Broderick thing, where it was okay. It was okay up until the ice rink egg scene, where all I can think of now is Robot Chicken with ice skating velociraptors. So, thank you, Seth Green. So, now, with them talking about doing this, and I had friends that were at San Diego Comic-Con and did the Godzilla experience, they are going back to the old movie style, because they gave the history on the Godzilla films throughout the entire exhibit, and then had bits and pieces of the new scenes and everything during the whole thing. And they said it looked awesome, but it's American movies. They take something like everything else that has a good concept, and they do this, and they throw it. And watch where it lands, and we all pay for it and cry. Because that's usually a train wreck.
Let's see, who's a Cylon this week? Who is a Cylon this week?
Yeah, that really sounded like you threw a dart, man. Like
Yeah, but
I heard a pop when you did that.
that's how you do it. But wasn't it, which I gotta remember, somebody can look it up. The movie where Toho did it where real Godzilla fights the American Godzilla from '98.
I'm looking.
How is that possible?
On that movie yet?
I'm looking.
Because there was one where real Godzilla killed the Matthew Broderick piece of crap.
I've never heard of that, man. That sounds kind of. But they do edit the monster out of that movie and they have regular Godzilla fight it somehow.
I don't know if it was Godzilla 2000. Was it Godzilla 2000?
That sounds ridiculous.
Zilla.
Yeah, they just called him Zilla. He wasn't the American monster wasn't Godzilla. He was just Zilla.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I forgot about
Hey, Ed, what movie are you looking forward to the most to come out this year? Or next year?
The most?
He already did Smurfs 2.
Yeah, I love that one. I would have to say, well, not next year, but I guess Star Wars, we already covered. I don't want to rehash that. After that, I guess Avengers 2.
I agree. I think that's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
The big event.
Nobody's saying The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug?
Oh, yes! The Hobbit. I forgot about that movie.
That's the problem with that. You forget about them in the meantime it takes to get the other one out.
That's true. It's been a while. Oh, we are excited about that one.
That's always slipped my mind, too. I do want to see it, though. It looks cool.
I'm pulling up 2013 in film right now because I want to see what movies are just going to suck. I want to see how many Sarah Jessica Parker fiascos we're going to have by the end of the year.
Oh, goody.
Why?
I'm excited for Captain America Winter Soldier, but I want to see how they deviate from the storyline of the comics with it, so...
See, I didn't read the Winter Soldier stuff. I'm not even really familiar with it, so it'll be cool to me. It'll just be like a new kind of thing. I can enjoy it on that level, and then check it out later in comics.
It's not going to be terror bad, so I'm just whatever, you do whatever you want, just make it entertaining. Please make Black Widow cool again. Please make Black Widow cool again. So, and that's my big thing.
Keep her looking the way she does.
Hey, keep looking, just
leave it alone.
You better be able to whoop some butt in this film, or I'm going to be sitting there going, why, Scarlett, just go stand in the corner and wiggle your boobs or something.
I want to see if they're going to modify that costume, because I think they ought to make it like a kind of an amalgam of the new and the old like 40s suit that he wore. So I think it just looks too sleek on him in the Avengers. He's like a little like.
The Captain America movie would be like the Secret Avengers, but with Captain American title. That is what I'm thinking now. Because we have the new costume. We have the Nick Fury. We have the Black Widow. I don't know. It's the same characters there was in the Secret Avengers.
Well, that's
Could be, who knows? Maybe they're heading that way.
we don't know.
Future for Captain America.
Well, I did.
Go ahead, Ed.
Go ahead, Ed.
I don't know if you guys heard, Whedon said that somebody would probably die in Avengers 2. Do you think he would kill Cap and have Winter Soldier take over?
Most definitely.
I don't know. I think you need Cap in the next phase, though. Don't you? I mean, don't you need him like that?
Because you got to remember, this is the comic verse. Just because he's dead doesn't mean he's dead.
Well, that's true. You can always bring him back in the next movie, but
Well, and that's what they did
what a
in the
bummer, though.
comics.
Kill Captain America.
There it
They
is.
kill Captain America,
Loki dies.
and then Bucky shows up as Captain America, and then Steve shows up going, I'm in charge of shit now. I don't care. Go be whatever.
No,
And
they're gonna kill Loki, and then he's gonna come back as Lady Loki.
Kid Loki.
But Loki,
Kid Loki
You
would
gotta
be
go
cool.
Lady Loki. You gotta go Lady Loki before you go Kid Loki. You gotta go Lady Loki.
I don't think
That's
Loki's
going
in
to
part
tick
2,
off
though.
the entire fangirl base.
No?
I don't think they
Yeah,
want
you
to
don't-
do that.
But he's going to be in Thor: The Dark World, and
Yeah.
so he's not going to be. Yeah, they're going to wrap him up, I think, in the Dark World.
I bet
They
you Ultron
basically
dies.
said they would.
Yeah, what do you think of this James Spader as Ultron? That came out. That's gonna. I don't know. With voices, I don't really care. As long as they can pull it off, how are you gonna know? I mean, if it's gonna be any good, it depends on He's a decent actor. I can't imagine it's gonna be any worse than anybody else.
Well, and that's the thing is, my issue is I'm curious how they're going to do the whole storyline without botching something. Because, I mean, you have to deviate from the comics. It's a given, especially with what you've already established. But I'm just worried that they're thinking of with the third phase to bring in Thanos, and that's a very specific setup that you have to do for that storyline because of all that takes place during that time period. And I don't know what they're going to do because in part of it, Mephisto even shows up. So it's kind of like, you guys get creative with that. Just don't botch it too bad, please.
Well, what Mephisto was in which Ghost Rider film? Because like he was in the Ghost Rider film, but like he was Peter Fonda played him in the first one because it was a different guy name in this. It was the different demon in the second one.
Yeah, which was funny because they still did the Mephisto and Blackheart storyline in the second one. Just didn't call them that.
Yeah.
that second Ghost Rider, man. When he turns into the Ghost Rider and he's just screaming and shaking his head. Oh man. Oh my God, come on.
Nick Cage.
Come on, Cage, what are you thinking?
So
you know what I want? My remake I want is Spawn. Please remake Spawn.
But Mark Farner is talking about this all the time now.
Yeah, I just saw something about it not too long ago. Didn't he want to direct it? He wants to direct it himself.
He's
From what I heard.
kind
He
of
wants to direct
have a horror movie.
Yeah. Go ahead,
It's
Ed.
a horror movie.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, he wants to direct it, and Jamie Foxx wants to play Spawn.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That sounds like it might be kind of cool to me. Depends. I don't know what kind of director Todd McFarlane could be, though. What do you think? You think he's?
I don't know.
He's never directed anything before.
I enjoyed Spawn, and I really enjoyed John Leguizamo. I love John Leguizamo. My favorite part is when he's sitting there and Spawn's and he's like, "I.W. the Earl of Ooey Gooey, the Crown of Gooey." I mean, that was
the problem with that movie, and with a lot of movies from far back are like, the way they make movies so cool now and the costumes and everything, you just look back at them and they just don't hold up. And you're listening, like when you're a kid, of course you love them.
Spawn's costume was still cool. Spawn's costume was still cool in that movie.
Spawn, when the film came out, it just wasn't the right time period for it, I think, more than anything. Because you had all these comic book movies, but they were kind of really hit or miss. And now
Cheesy.
with the rise of comic book movies, if they did a Spawn remake and it was well done, even if it was the same actors, it was just done over and extended on the storyline and just kind of re-pushed out to the audience, I think it'd be more widely accepted than it was. Because like the HBO TV series was freaking awesome. But it was super duper adult. So.
It's like the Spawn costume reminded me, and tell me if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Uni, I think you might be the only one that could possibly know what I'm talking about. It kind of looked like there was an old anime, it was a comic book, an anime, and a movie starring Mark Hamill called The Guyver. Not MacGyver, but The Guyver.
The Guyver.
The Guyver.
Yeah, the movie.
And it was like,
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, the movie. That's kind of like what it reminded me of.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
The Guyver was an excellent it was an excellent anime. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who pulling out some obscure references here. But it was made kind of like that, where it looked like it was they really did try to make it look like it was alive, and the costume had a sense of self-awareness, and that was pretty cool. And the cape for the time, Spawn's cape was pretty fantastic for the CG for the time that they had. And
That was one of the first movies that did that, where they animated part of the suit, as far as I can remember. I don't remember anything before that having CGI on the costume. Now it's kind of like a regular thing.
What was that? What did FDN just put out? Like they actually had like images of the Wolverine costume that was from the Wolverine. And actually
man. That looked cool. It's the old Bumblebee costume, man, with the mask and everything.
Yeah, apparently they had it for the new movie, but they never used it.
Oh man, I wonder if there's any like footage of Jackman walking around with it on. I wonder if that's gonna pop up someday. It'd be kind of funny if it wasn't like fitted and like lit just right. It'd probably look pretty ridiculous.
Like Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Yeah, those pictures are funny, man. I hate the big scoop neck Superman suit.
Did you ever see the pictures of Sean Young as Catwoman?
I don't think I ever saw the pictures.
It was when Sean Young. Anybody? I don't know if many people know who she was, but you'll know.
I remember what she did. I just don't remember seeing the pictures for it.
She was Einhorn in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Blade Runner, man. She's the chick in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
But she apparently stalked Tim Burton in a Catwoman costume to get him to put her in Batman Returns.
That's a sure way to get in the movie.
Oh, totally.
I'd do it.
Did you guys all see Wolverine?
No.
Jules
did. I didn't see it. I just did a rant on why I don't go to movie theaters, because I can't stand going. They're always ruined. I always wait for everything on Blu-ray or Vudu or something.
The night that Jules went to see it was when we had the Bacon War on Twitter, when we were having the Bacon War.
Yeah, that's why she missed the bacon thing.
I missed the whole war because I was...
The Chuck Norris versus everything war.
Yeah, that's an obscure kind of inside, but hey everybody, we had a bacon war on Twitter. But yeah, you were gone. You saw the Wolverine that night. That's right. You
haven't seen nothing till you seen a panel-to-panel bacon war. You ain't seen nothing. Many Boffins died during that bacon war. Many Boffins died.
They did. How did you like Wolverine, Jules? I remember you said you liked it a lot. I don't know if I actually heard what your thoughts were.
I don't remember if I think I said something.
Yeah, she started reading Savage Wolverine because of it.
Oh, well, I started on Savage Wolverine. That's what I started loving Wolverine for. But I actually read on Comixology, plug for Comixology, they had the first 4 issues. So after I saw the movie, then I went and read the comic, and I was like, yes! I don't know. I guess a lot of people had problems with it, but for me, not reading the comic first and just watching it, I loved it. So, but then I can kind of see where the problems were after I read the comics, but I still loved it. So, I don't know.
Uni, do you want to tell us again about Viper?
That's the only reason why I haven't watched it. Screwed up my Viper. It's okay. I'll probably
there's a lot of reasons you shouldn't watch it.
Yeah, like I plan on watching it, but in the safety of my own home, so I can scream at the TV when I want to, because it's gonna happen. Because I do like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I do.
Yeah.
I like the storyline they chose to do. I like Viper. I like Silver Samurai. I just don't like how they twisted one of my favorite characters into something she's not. So you'll probably hear some far away during the wave of water that hits Colorado some more, this loud yell of no at Viper. So
I do want to say though, Ed, your shirt. If you could show your shirt again. Your cool Wolverine shirt.
Oh,
and then I will hold this up.
Is that my Christmas present?
I will hold this up.
Really love that. That is
Was it Dr. Spidey that put that up today? He put up both the variants too, didn't he?
I put them up.
Oh, I think Kat should make me a pillowcase of that comic cover.
Okay.
There you go.
I do have to pull up the Mighty Avengers
that one's adorable
Lego cover.
I love that.
Yeah. This is the only one my shop had. I get the plain white one. I feel like Charlie Brown getting the Rock on Halloween.
Yeah, I did happen to find 2 3D Lobos today.
Oh, awesome!
Nice.
Panda, you need to let me know, because if you don't need it, Pedro, it's going to come to you if Panda don't need it.
Yeah.
You got first dibs on it.
The logo cover, it came out this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it.
You know what, Pedro? I might be nice to you, Pedro. I might send you mine. I don't know. You did find.
You know what? The big movie nobody's mentioned yet is the Batman Superman coming out.
I was afraid to.
Justin Bieber.
I hope.
Have you written it off, Ed? Have you written off Affleck as Batman? You think it's going to be a disaster?
My problem isn't that. Is once you introduce Batman into a Superman movie, it becomes a Batman movie. You know, everybody's talking about Batman. Everybody's talking about Gotham. Nobody's caring about Superman. It's a Superman sequel. I kind of think you do a Superman sequel, maybe you set up another character, do Justice League, and then you do a team-up movie when they're already friends. So I really don't know how they're going to go with this. You got an older, tired Batman. You've got a rookie Superman. They're going to meet each other, and what happens?
Just rip a big chunk out of Dark Knight Returns where they fight, do the versus.
And then say,
it's going to be Kryptonite. What else could it be but Kryptonite? They can't do anything but Kryptonite again.
About doing, though, with the Dark Knight, like, at least that was, like, the rumor that I heard, I think about a month ago, was, like, they were kind of going to take it in that angle, be like a continuation of that. I think they were trying to get, like, Frank Miller to help write or something.
I don't think you can do any better than that animated Dark Knight Returns movie. I don't think you're ever going to do that justice. Because I thought that was just brilliant, the animated version with Peter Weller as
was good. Yeah.
the voice of Batman. The two-parter.
Peter Weller.
I don't think you're going to ever get Dark Knight Returns better than that.
Peter Weller's coming up a lot.
Star Trek.
Is what Ed was saying, because in the animated and the comics is a Batman comics, is a Batman animation, not a Superman. So I kind of in the Ed side here because we don't know Superman yet. We just know a guy dressed in a blue suit. We don't know Superman. And that's what
I'm still gonna like it a bit, just because it's got Batman and Superman. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's Batman and Superman.
I'm sorry, Pedro.
It'll dawn on me how bad it is later if it's bad.
When Pedro was talking, all I can think about is when picking off on the Justice League, like, oh, hi, we are the Justice League. We are better than you.
Well, that's basically what Zack Snyder said, didn't he?
What?
He said Justice League were pure archetypes, and he sort of compared them to like mythical heroes, and said that they were better than Marvel. And I mean, that's basically what he said. He said they were gods. So sort of like what Pedro said. Like, we just can't do a movie.
Right. Well, that's what I think Pedro made two really important points that night, and the one about roping Affleck into direct Justice League was the other thing that you were spot on about.
I will go back. When I went and I saw Kevin Smith, and he talked about it, he said that is probably the whole reason Affleck said, yes, I'm going to do Batman, is so they could get him into writing and directing Justice League.
But they offered him that before. How come he didn't do it before?
Exactly.
I don't know. Kevin Smith said he hadn't talked to him in a little bit, so I don't know. I'm just going off what Kevin told me.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying. He could have did it a long time ago if he wanted to. Now all of a sudden he wants to do it when he's like 43. I don't know.
Wait, but did he ever explain why his reasons why he wouldn't do it? Was he just like swamped and couldn't do it? No break in the schedule, or he just didn't want to do it?
Maybe Jennifer Garner said, look, we both have movies that people think are terrible. One of us has to make a good superhero movie. They're not offering me anything.
We have to redeem ourselves so we can go to Comic-Con again.
So, we cannot have our kids go to school and have their friends say your parents are the worst superheroes of all time.
Your parents screwed up Daredevil and Elektra.
Oh, that reminds me. I found my Elektra comic the other day and about Fangirl because I couldn't remember where I put it. And I was looking through it. My mom goes, wasn't there a movie made off that? I'm like, we don't talk about that.
Is that the one that you got the picture of on your Twitter? That one? The Wolverine Elektra one?
No.
I can't see you, so I can't see it.
When I made my Elektra costume, 2004, because I wasn't into comics, but I knew who Elektra was. I knew who certain characters were. And I went and got this anthology, and it has all her different costumes in it. So, of course, I'm like, the Holy Grail. So I ended up keeping it and made a costume based off one of the illustrations, the red costume, and went and competed, and I lost my comic. I didn't know where it went, and I found it the other day. Like, 8-9 years later, I finally found it. I thought it was
I love when I find an old book that I didn't remember I had. Get through my stuff. I'm like, oh yeah.
She's looking through his vault. Oh, there's that action number 1. I was wondering where that
to. I've said a million times, I don't even want an action number 1 because I don't have the $1 billion security system to protect it. And if I didn't have that, I just would worry about it. I wouldn't leave the house. I would just watch it all the time, make sure nobody was messing with it.
Friends, why you guys think Days of the Future Past?
I'm hoping Days of Future Past has not turned into a Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That's my biggest fear, is it's going to be like Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Like, oh, there's that mutant. Oh, there's that X-Men. Oh, there's that X-Men. And they all get like 2 minutes of screen time. And then it just...
So kind of like, the third X-Men film was.
Like Wolverine Origins.
Right. They shouldn't just jam-pack it. Oh, go ahead, Ed.
I was going to say, to me, the only reason I think they're doing it is just to like reboot the whole franchise, to fix all their past mistakes and stuff with the timeline. I don't even think they're trying to be like too faithful to the storyline. I mean, they're saying the Sentinels have been around since the 70s, but we've never really seen one in a movie. So how are they going to get away with that? Other than in the Danger Room, and Kitty isn't the main star; it's Wolverine. So I think they're just doing it to get it over with, show some action, and start the franchise over. You know, reboot, fix their mistakes with Cyclops, maybe Jean Grey, whatever else they want to fix.
That's my opinion.
Well, that was my
we
biggest...
have the future with
ahead,
Bishop. We have the future with Bishop, and now we have an X-Force movie with Cable on it. So they are trying to fix it to create the Cable universe in the real timeline of the X-Men movies and the X-Men comics.
Isn't Bishop in this one? Isn't Bishop in X-Men Days of Future Past? I thought I read Bishop is in this.
He's in the future, yeah.
Okay. Because what I always had a problem with, my major issue was, why is Havoc one of the first class? That was always my biggest issue, is why is Havoc? I can understand Banshee. That's fine. I don't mind Banshee. He came in giant size X-Men. But why Havoc and not Cyclops? That's what peed me off. And then if you think about it, the Wolverine tying into this film, which means Wolverine Origins tied into this film, and Xavier is already Patrick Stewart getting Cyclops.
Yeah.
No, Can we just get Ray Park back as Toad?
I'd be okay with that. I think what they're doing is just the same thing as you said, Ed. They're kind of trying to clean up this mess and hopefully say, we're done with this, and reboot. Because they've screwed up so much with like every freaking character and any storyline they could have done that they kind of have to just stop.
Yeah.
I gotta give them credit for using the same cast, though, not just recasting the whole thing and just confusing everything. That was pretty well cast. I mean, the other movies are well cast. I don't know. I think that Wolverine's just about the perfect, or Hugh Jackman's about the most perfect guy on the planet to play Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, and I liked Famke Janssen as Jean Grey. I like the idea of Anna Paquin playing Rogue. I just don't like what they did with the character. So it's kind of...
I agree.
and that's the thing.
Turning Rogue into Jubilee?
Good ideas, and then they kind of went nom with it, so...
I want to see a Rogue that's indestructible and can fly. Like the X-Men, like when she used to be able to like fly through a brick wall and be able to fly super fast. I don't like the vampire power Rogue.
Now, I know he's not in the film, but Taylor Kirsch, when he played Gambit in Origins, Ed shaking his head, didn't like that?
If I knew we were bringing up Origins, I wouldn't have came on.
I'm out of here.
Yes, you would have. Yeah, you would have. Don't play
I feel the same. I'm not a fan of Origins. I mean, it had such good...
Well, I am talking to two Deadpools here.
Yeah. And I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan, and I still don't like that film, so...
Ryan Reynolds is like comic book movie kryptonite.
Yes.
Any comic book movie he's in is not good. Blade 3, Blade Trinity. Then you had Origins,
Blade
then Green Lantern.
Was pretty bad too.
Taylor Kitsch is no better either.
No, Blade 2 was by Guillermo del Toro, and Guillermo del Toro can do no wrong. He made Pan's Labyrinth and Hellboy. Guillermo del Toro is a freaking mad genius. And Hellboy 2 was good. It had Ron Perlman in it. Come on, you can't... How can Ron Perlman, even if the movie sucks, makes the movie good. Alien Resurrection, it sucked, but Ron Perlman was cool in that movie.
In the Name of the King is just awful, and Ron Perlman's in that.
He's Conan's father. He is Conan's father. He was Conan's father.
True. My two major issues with it, just concerning Wolverine, not Deadpool or anybody else, is that he basically volunteered for the project, and he was only in Weapon X for like 5 seconds, and he escaped.
Yeah.
It's like Wolverine's character is based on them kidnapping him and torturing him and all that stuff. That's where all this rage comes from. Yeah. He took it away. It's like, why is he so mad all the time? He was only there for 5 minutes. So,
that is true.
Major issue.
I wanted that explained.
What
ahead, sorry.
My problem with the movie was the credits, the initial credits. I think they should have done the movie with all that escape from the Canada and the wars. I think that they should end the movie Origins in the Weapon X program. For me, Wolverine Origins had to be done like that, like the war stuff, the origin, or the dog hunts, all this stuff. They have to done this, but they didn't. So.
Yeah. Like the whole backstory where he runs, like all that stuff where he runs away, right?
Yeah, I wanted to know, was there a second mutation for Sabretooth? Because you had him in the first X-Men film, and he's wild, he's crazy, and then you have him in Origins, and he's kind of clean cut a little bit, you know.
But he runs around on all fours the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more animalistic, and he looks like he's like clean. He's like a GQ model.
GQ Sabretooth. Oh, man.
Well, Hank McCoy mutates every once in a while. Now he's mutated, twice now?
Another issue I had with X-Men First Class. Henry McCoy did not want to cure his mutation. That was not how he became the furry beast. He was not.
He wanted to intensify his mutation, didn't he? He was trying to intensify his power, and he didn't count on the blue fur effect.
Yeah, and originally it was gray fur. Originally he had gray fur, and then it turned to the blue. But he was never this character that was, oh, I don't want to be a mutant anymore. I'm ashamed of my powers. Come on, Beast he's a founding X-Men, for Christ's sake. He was out there fighting with the rest of them.
Beast is also one of the ones that ties into Sword, because he dates Abigail Brand. So it's kind of, that's another thing that drives me nuts, is they had so many awesome options with what they could have done with the X-Men franchise. But they spat this thing out, and I still haven't forgiven them for Phoenix. Never forgiven them for that. Ever.
I did like Kevin Bacon, though.
If you guys see, an X-Men 2, if you notice when Nightcrawler pops into that jail cell, supposedly you can see him in the background in the dark for a full minute. If you watch it in HD, you can see Nightcrawler in the cell with the kids in the background, up against the wall. You can see him back there for a full minute if you focus on it, and then it's he just appears there. You could clearly see it. It's why aren't you helping those kids now? Why are you skulking in the shadows over there for another minute and a half?
But see,
before you get moving?
I thought Alan Cumming did a good Nightcrawler, and the opening scene where he goes in the White House and just takes out the entire Secret Service.
That is cool. I mean, he's a cool looking. That's just one little glitch in the movie I've noticed.
They did a good job casting. Well, except Halle Berry, but I don't talk about that. They did a good job casting. It's just, you could tell these people don't really know the story. And not just the writers,
they're greedy
but the
producers.
actors.
All they want is money.
Exactly.
All they want is the money.
And that's the thing is, you need somebody on the project that loves it.
Right.
But who wants to do things right? This is Hollywood, dang it. We're going to do it half-ass. That's what we're best at.
That's why they don't make as much
Look at
money
the Lone
as they
Ranger.
would.
Look at the
Apparently,
Lone
Brian
Ranger.
Singer counts himself a fan.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know. To me, you do First Class, you start the founding X-Men, maybe they go to form X-Factor, and then you bring in the second class of X-Men, and you have two X-Men teams. I mean, Beast is the only founding member on the whole team. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a good movie, but I sort of view it as a what-if movie.
I agree. I think that when they had the opportunity to go back and do First Class, they should have rebooted the whole thing. We're going to recast everybody. They should have just rebooted it with Angel Jean
'cause
Grey,
Angel-
Cyclops, Iceman, and the Beast. It should have been the first original X-Men.
Which is funny, like, you had Angel in X3, and I think I read, like, the novelization of the movie, and this is one of those times where the novelization was better. Like, Angel actually fought with them on the island, on the island at the end of the novel of X3, where in the movie you're just kind of like, he's on the cover, he's on the frickin' poster with the X-Men, and he's just like, he's not doing any.
Doesn't he just fly away? He jumps out a window and flies away. Bye. I'm gonna stay out of the Mutant War because all I got is these wings.
They
He shows up just in time to save his father, though.
Yeah, but they screwed up
Oh yeah.
big time. Screwed her up. Arclight, Kid Omega, all of them just. My side
You know what's dead on, though?
disappear in shadows.
What's his name? The Multiple Man. Is it Multiple Man?
Yeah,
I forget what his name is. The guy.
Maddox.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate. Even costuming and everything was pretty accurate. It's actually
but not
pretty accurate to the
Juggernaut.
comic character. No way, not Juggernaut. That was way off. Agreed.
Does anybody in the Jules or Panda, you want to chime in on the X-Men talk?
He's dominating the whole show.
Jules is like,
You
I like
guys
them.
said the majority of.
I just don't think they tie in well together.
They don't.
No, there's some big gaps in logic and a lot of that. If they're trying to tie all the 4 movies together, there's major gaps in logic throughout.
I was always mad.
I mean, individually they're okay. You can sit down and watch one. I mean,
I was always waiting because, like, in every film you saw the different mutants. Like, you saw Siren in a couple of the films. In all 3 films, you had Kitty Pryde, you had Shadowcat, and she finally became a character in the 3rd one. But you also saw Jubilee in all 3 of them. How come Jubilee never got a part? I mean, she was in all 3 of them. Ossus was in all 3 of them, and he finally started getting parts.
Psylocke was in one for like 1 millisecond and then dead.
Yeah, Psylocke gets killed, and she was on the evil side of things, and I don't know. I still want my Ian McKellen going, I will bring you hope, old friend. Because I'm sorry, that scene was probably my favorite of all of them, where him and Xavier are just talking, and he's like, I will bring you hope. And that
what about Howard remake? Spin. You're waiting on your Howard remake.
Howard the Duck remake. Josh Whedon, I don't know if he was just kidding or if he actually wants to push through with it, but Josh Whedon was like, I would love to reboot Howard the Duck. Go ahead. It's the 2000s. Guess what? It's the 2000s. You can actually show a duck having sex with a woman. It's fine now. We see weirder stuff on movies now.
Is it fine? I don't think it's fine, man.
Hey, if Human Centipede,
Still be a little perturbed.
no, look, if the Human Centipede can be a movie, Howard can go at it with Beverly Switzler. As seen at the end of Howard the Duck magazine #1.
Of course. Always got that handy right there.
Well, my Howard the Duck magazine #1 and my Howard the Duck #1. So I got them both. Right.
Put it on like a string where it pops down out of the ceiling. Pops down. Yeah, it looks like on a thing he's pulled
like
up.
Groucho Marx.
Just hang them down.
Oh, man. But no, I think if they can make, I've always said this, and Ed, I loved it when that announcement came out for Marvel Lego, and Ed had to tweet me, Spin, look, Howard the Duck's in Lego Marvel, and I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, that is kind of cool, though.
If they can make Rocket Raccoon a star, they can do the same with Howard. In the whole Marvel Now line, he's had two panel cameo in Wolverine and the X-Men in the Dupe issue, like 16 or 17. He was in that for like 2 panels with Dupe. But I think Howard, we need Howard. Bring him back. Howard is awesome.
He's an underrated character. Yeah, it's Marvel. Howard the Duck.
I mean, movie. Is that Marvel or is that Lucasfilm, movie-wise?
That's Lucas. That's Lucas,
that
right?
was Lucasfilm. I actually have the movie adaptation comics somewhere around here. But
Because
it was
Marvel's got
Lucasfilm.
Whedon locked up, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
they
Marvel
got him
have,
locked up.
So I don't think they're going to let him go.
Actually, hold up. It can happen. Because Marvel has Whedon. Disney has Marvel. Disney has Lucasfilms. Bam! But, Ed, I hope you've had an enjoyable time with us. I know we've gone on this tangent and that tangent and a tangent over here. But that's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Cool with me.
We're not going to tell you about this month's earning reports from a comic publisher. We're going to tell you the fun stuff. Next,
We don't even know that. That's how far out of that we are.
I got no clue.
We couldn't tell you that, Ed.
How many logos does DC sell? I don't know. I got no clue.
I bought one.
Giving it away. I'm giving it away. Sunday.
It sold at least one.
I don't know what
They
got.
sold at least two. They sold at least two. Just because I just like to hear it.
You're crazy, man. Stop doing that.
Hey, dude, it's in a bag with a board. I could.
All right.
Anyway.
I got you.
Next week, tune in with us. Megan Ashley will be back on with us for her third time. So she is tying with our good friend Jeff Burns from Super Knocked Up and a number of appearances on the show. They just can't stay away. What are we going to talk about? She's got a new Kickstarter for her new project. So we're going to be talking about that. And then I have no clue what we're talking about after that.
Probably still more Batgirl spoiled. We'll find out when that's coming back with new stuff.
Yeah, some Batgirl spoiled.
She's in that.
We've talked Smurfs. Maybe next week we'll talk about the Snorks.
The knockoff Smurfs.
All about that, guys.
Chief, are there any updates for the win a day with the Space Chief contest? It never seems to be getting off the ground.
I haven't got an entry yet, but you know what? Now it's become, as you know, it's become spend 24 hours with Space Chief, where you spend 24 hours with me whether you want to or not. I tie you up. You sit right here next to me on the couch, and we watch at least 8 hours of Murder, She Wrote on the Hallmark Channel. And then I'm going to drag you out to my car, and we're going to record like 5 rants in a row with you in the back seat tied up. And it's like I said, it's either your dream come true or your worst nightmare. That's up to you. I await your entries, America and the world abroad.
I wouldn't wait too long.
I'm sure so.
Oh, this is open-ended, Ed. This goes on until I get a winner.
I don't count, right? It has to be somebody other than me, or what?
Oh, you're already a grand prize winner, baby.
Pando, I know you probably don't have the dates in your head. Do you know how many days we have till Anime Apocalypse right now? Because you've been keeping the countdown.
End of December, so
I think it's 111.
111 days, Rockford, Illinois, Anime Apocalypse, live panel-to-panel show. Will be streaming live December 28th. We'll be there December 27th through the 29th. I'll be there. Chief will be there. Panda will be there. Jules is trying to be there. Uni may have to get in her boat with all the flooding in Colorado if she wants to come and row there. Pedro's gonna jump some borders.
His head will be there. I am no longer charging $10,000 for my autograph, by the way, so you can feel free to meet the chief without charge. I'm not pulling a Stallone on you guys.
But
Why, you don't want to charge like $900?
400 plus more for a photo op.
I charge $700.
It was
How you doing, buddy? All right, get out of here.
picture and signature.
I'm sorry, buddy. I don't take checks. Cash only. Come and see us December 27th through the 29th at Anime Apocalypse, where we will be hosting a panel and we'll be doing our live show. Panda's bringing cookies and cupcakes and other delicious treats.
All kinds of stuff.
So come and chill with us during those days. It's going to be a blast. And from all of us, to all of you, to all our spaceships at sea, good evening and good night.